A major federal ruling in Chicago could trigger one of the largest ICE detainee releases in years. A U.S. judge has ordered the Department of Homeland Security to release more than 600 migrants held at a suburban detention facility. Judge Jeffrey Cummings blasted DHS for repeated and serious violations of a court-approved consent decree. He said federal agents unlawfully detained migrants who were not eligible for mandatory detention. The order stems from a class action case accusing DHS of making illegal arrests across Illinois. Cummings said the Broadview Detention Center held people in unsafe and unsanitary conditions. He highlighted reports of overcrowded rooms and detainees kept near overflowing toilets. As a result, DHS must release the detainees on bond and place them in alternatives to detention, he said. The deadline for compliance is set for November 21st. The ruling could free hundreds arrested during a major enforcement sweep called Operation Midway Blitz. In response, DHS officials strongly condemned the ruling and said it undermines national security, as per reports. DHS reportedly warned that releasing large numbers of detainees could endanger local communities and accused the judge of blocking efforts to remove dangerous offenders.
18-wheelers and understand they're difficult to stop, maneuver. You have to have a skill set, but also communication with those around you. And certainly in your training, that's important to make sure you're operating it safely. Putting them behind the wheel of these tractor trailers weighing tens of thousands of pounds loaded with explosive fuel down the highway endangers every single citizen that is on our roads. Today, these individuals will speak about some of those incidences that we've seen, but also what we're doing to clean up this activity and those dangers every single day. Now, through our 287G partnership that we have with the state of Indiana, we have run an operation recently which has allowed to hundreds of arrests that has brought people in that are breaking our laws. Through that partnership, 223 illegal aliens have been arrested and taken off of our roads. Of those, 146 of them were drivers. That includes 46 semi-truck drivers and another 82 of them that were either box trucks, buses, moving vans, vehicles such as that. The CDLs that were issued to those individuals were issued from over a dozen different states. Many of those individuals could have been licensed in a state somewhere and received their CDL in another state, but overwhelmingly these individuals have come from sanctuary states such as California and Illinois and New York. If you are here driving on our streets illegally and our highways, you are endangering our citizens and your days are numbered. I want to thank Secretary Sean Duffy from the Department of Transportation for all of his work, too. You've seen him focus on the effort to get these individuals off of our streets, and I want to thank him for doing that and implementing new policies and regulations that will keep our citizens safe. Too many families across this country have felt pain and been victimized and lost loved ones because of these illegal drivers. Just earlier this month here in Indiana, we saw an illegal alien from Serbia and Montenegro was operating his semi-truck without a valid commercial license. He swerved into oncoming traffic and killed Jeffrey Eberly. In August, Indian illegal alien killed 3 people in a reckless driving highway incident in Florida. And I think most of you remember the news coverage from that, but the devastating impacts of that loss. That CDL had been issued in California by Governor Gavin Newsom. Just last week, another Indian illegal alien killed 3 Americans on a highway in California. He was intoxicated behind the wheel of his truck. Every single time one of these individuals gets behind the truck, on the wheel of a truck, they are in front of a deadly weapon that can kill other Americans as well. Behind me, you will see 4 different placards of individuals that we're talking about today specifically. These individuals are some of the worst that we've been able to arrest under Operation Midway Blitz. The first one I'll talk about is from Mexico, and this individual was convicted of felony cruelty towards a child. He was also previously found to have possessing a fraudulent driver's license as well, and guilty of that and convicted. The next one is a criminal illegal alien from Mexico who was convicted of vehicle theft and apprehended for possession of a controlled substance. The third individual that you'll see in front of you today is a criminal illegal alien from Nicaragua. This individual was charged with a DUI, then assault with a deadly weapon, possessing narcotics that are for sale, and transporting drugs. He also was convicted for disorderly conduct and prostitution. Another illegal alien from Colombia in front of us, which is the fourth individual I'll talk about today, has an active criminal arrest warrant for theft out of Texas. During these targeted operations that we've conducted in Indiana, we've also arrested several other illegal aliens with wide-ranging criminal histories. 6 of those individuals were convicted of assault, drugs, selling drugs, prostitution, and operating while intoxicated. 5 of those individuals were arrested for drugs, theft, and burglary, and 5 others were arrested for battery, child abuse, domestic battery, and driving while intoxicated and fraud. You can see from the work that these partnerships build on, that we work with other states such as Indiana and Governor Braun and his team, that many dangerous criminal illegal aliens are taken off of our streets, that our laws are upheld, and that Americans are protected because of the operations and the work that's being done. Since the beginning of Midway Blitz, ICE and CBP and our state partners have arrested more than 3,000 illegal aliens, including rapists, murderers, and gang members that have been brought to justice. And listen, we don't want any of these individuals out on our roads, and we don't want them in our communities, and we especially don't want them behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler when they can't speak our language, they don't understand our laws, they can't follow our roadway signs, and they can't interact with law enforcement or our citizens. It's dangerous, and it's not going to happen under the Trump administration like it did under the Biden administration. Thousands and thousands of Americans are protected because of the work that's being done with states such as this. United States Citizenship and Immigration Services is also working to fix some of the safety issues that we've been seeing across our country. They just ended a policy that allowed illegal aliens work permits that automatically renewed those work permits without any additional vetting. That will help us get some of these CDLs out of the hands of individuals who may be driving these trucks right here today. The illegal alien that was charged with throwing an anti-Semitic Molotov cocktail earlier this year in Boulder, Colorado, got a work permit. He got it renewed under the former policy, and he got it with an expired visa. This policy is now changed because of the good work of USCIS. Now people will be re-vetted and have to be reapproved in order to get that work permit that could potentially be used to garner a CDL and get on the street. Law-abiding Americans should be able to use the roads without being scared for their safety. They shouldn't have to worry about themselves or their children or what they're doing when they're going to church, going to work, or going to activities every single day. No father should have to fear being rear-ended by a semi-truck at full speed while he's simply on his way to work to provide for his family. No mother should have to be afraid of an illegal alien running into her with her children when she's got little kids in the back seat in her car seats. I'm a mother and I'm a grandmother, and I can't imagine what would happen or how I would feel if one of my children or grandchildren were hurt by someone who was never supposed to be in our country in the first place, much less behind a truck like this and given permission from an irresponsible, reckless governor like Gavin Newsom or Pritzker or anyone else in this country that chooses to ignore our laws and put illegal criminals ahead of our American citizens. With state partners like Governor Braun and like the state of Indiana, people will be safer, people will be protected, and our laws will matter. That's what's special about this country. It's what's amazing about President Trump and what he's doing to make our streets safer. And I'm so grateful for all of his work and the ability to protect our law enforcement officers as they go out and do their work every day protecting American citizens.